and I was not excited about meeting you. I was nervous, honestly.
And I'm just a good old boy from Kernersville, North Carolina, like a really small town.
I became known for really no good reason other than the fact that I signed up for a reality television show. Does it ever feel like a fever dream to you that you're doing this thing?
I had the idea of, why don't we write a proposal in the third verse of this song? I'll consider using it to propose to her. The original recorder of that song. So he's got plaques up on his wall of "Old Come to the Altar," and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I can't escape this song. I wanted to record my version, sat down, finished it up, and just decided to put it out there. Just an easy way to share my faith and let people in on who I am just a little bit more.
Welcome to If You Can Hear Me, a space where culture meets the soul. I'm Ben Higgins. You may know me from The Bachelor, and you may know some of my guests from Culture and Headlines, but this podcast is about going beyond the surface into something deeper. Today's guest is Chris Lane, a country music artist known for hits like Fix and Big Big Plans, a husband, a father, and a man of faith, married to Lauren Bushnell Lane. I invite you to lean in and enjoy this conversation.
Goodness, thanks for joining us.
Heck yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
This is a show I'm very excited about because faith is such an important part of my life.
Heck yeah.
And I know it's such a driving force to your life. I can't think of a better guest to have on this show than you, though, because we have so many things in common, so much history. We love golf.
Love golf.
And then I just want to start this out before I start throwing questions at you by saying, giving you a little story. Obviously, you're married to Lauren. You have 3 wonderful kids. When my time came from The Bachelor and Lauren and I were together, and then you guys ended up dating, I found out that you're going to be at the same golf tournament as me. And I was not excited about meeting you. I was nervous, honestly. I thought, goodness, this thing that's so fun and so pure now, I have this awkward interaction that I'm going to have, right? And it was like haunting me. It's just kind of who I am. Those things haunt me, and it haunted me for weeks. And I remember the very first moment I saw you, you came right up to me, like right away. You gave me a handshake. You gave me a hug. You said, "It's nice to meet you."
Heck yeah.
And I remember this feeling of just like calmness, peace coming into this. And then excited to get to know you. Like, I was excited to get to know you better. And I want to give you that credit because I know you like went out of your way to say hello, which was a big deal to me. So thank you.
Heck yeah, man. No, that's easy. Like, you're literally one of the nicest guys I've ever met. In fact, Lauren's dad, who comes down there and caddies for me, says the same exact thing. So I love getting to meeting you, and the fact that we've been able to hang out together, especially during that tournament, even outside of golf, has been an absolute pleasure.
For me, I became known without a skill set. I became known for really no good reason other than the fact that I signed up for a reality television show. I've always wondered this. Can you give listeners, can you give fans like me a glimpse into the moments? Are you ever in awe? Are you ever shocked? Does it ever feel like a fever dream to you that you're doing this thing, that you have a wife, 3 kids, you're standing on a stage playing songs that you love and wrote, but also rubbing shoulders with Rascal Flatts?
Yeah.
Like, is it ever weird to you?
It's not weird, but I just feel so thankful and so blessed because there are so many talented people in this world, so many incredibly gifted singers and songwriters who haven't had their chance yet. And I'm just a good old boy from Kernersville, North Carolina, like a really small town. It was never a thought in my entire life that I could be an artist. Like, you just think that that's out of reach. Like, it's unattainable. So for something like this to happen has been absolutely incredible, and I'm just so thankful and blessed. It really is. I mean, it's standing there, getting to hang out and become great friends with Rascal Flatts, guys that I've looked up to. I remember one of the early highlights in my career. I was backstage at one of the award shows, and my favorite artist, Kenny Chesney, came up to me and told me that he loved my song "Fix," which was my very first single out into the world here. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like pinching myself on a daily basis saying, how the heck did this happen to me? This is incredible. And as the guy who always said, I'm never getting married, I'm never having kids, I love my freedom. I love playing golf whenever I want to, all of those things. I am so thankful that the good Lord above did not listen to me when I was saying all that stuff. I remember holding Dutton for the first time in the hospital there. I just bawled my eyes out, and I as just a thank you to God for not listening to my selfish desires of not wanting this. Like, I feel so lucky.
Let's dive in then a little bit to your family because it is a special family. Before we get into the newest edition, Logan. And I cannot wait to talk to you about being a girl dad now because
see all these gray hairs starting to pop up, man.
Yeah, and probably a lot of tears. You got married to Lauren in 2019.
Yes, it was October 2019.
For anybody that's watching or listening, what have you learned about marriage now? I mean, you guys got married in 2019, and about 2 years later had your first kid. So you spent about 2 years just as a married couple. What things have you learned about yourself as a husband?
I've learned, first and foremost, that I was a very selfish person, especially with my time. It was a very hard transition for me as an artist who's always just been able to go do what I want to do when I need to do it, and give everything to my career. And then, when you have a family, you kind of have to put them first, which is easy to do, but it's also hard to do at the same time because you've got something that you sacrificed so much time for. Like all those, I think about it all the time. I'm like, how did I do what I did back then, where you're driving through the middle of the night to really play to nobody, you're not making any money. In fact, you're losing money. So I sacrificed so much for that. And now that I have a family, I've had to take a lot of time off. Because if you have young kids, it's hard. It's a full-time job, especially on a mother. So I think for me, just not being able to be selfish anymore was a tough transition for me. But now I feel like I'm in a good spot with it. I at least hope I am. We're 3 kids in now.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a tough transition in the very beginning.
And I think this is something, I don't know if you feel this way, I don't want to put my own emotions on you, but once I got married, there was like a setback to my ability to just be free, right? Yeah. To travel where I needed, to go where I wanted. There was that, hey, can I leave my wife for 3 weeks straight? Is that healthy? Is that good for us or not? Then you add a kid into the mix, and that adds a different layer, not only because you don't want to leave them as a dad. You like being around them, but also you want them to know you. You have a unique career though. You do make a majority of your income by being on the road.
Yeah.
You're known. The more you can get out there, the more people listen, the more people understand the music you're coming out with. So let's try to translate that to like the corporate world where most, people work in. How have you made that transition? And for me, the reason I said I want to put my emotions on you, there's been moments where I feel like I'm not doing anything because I'm trying to be home.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everything that I've, my career has taken this huge back seat. And it gets really hard on me mentally to navigate how to balance it.
Yeah, it's definitely work-life balance is very difficult to balance at the end of the day. I mean, I'm kind of the same exact way. We do, as artists, you do make most of your income out on the road touring. And I went from playing hundreds of shows a year to, maybe accepting 50 to 60. And that's a lot of face time that I'm missing kind of out there in front of people. And I think that's the easiest way to get or to make fans at the end of the day is them seeing you in concert saying, wow, I want to go back and see that guy again. So yeah, it's hard to take time off, but the more I've done it, the more I've leaned on and realized that family's everything. And at the end of the day, I hope fans have a little bit of patience and understanding when it comes to artists who have multiple kids, or for me now 3 kids, until I can get back out there really full time like I was before.
How did you not get resentful towards Lauren at the beginning, or did you? I mean,
I think there's definitely moments maybe of resent on both sides. On the days that I am gone, because it's really hard. I remember when we had Dutton our first, I was at the height of my career at that time. I was coming off of 3 massive songs, and I had to be out in front of people. Like I'm selling a lot of tickets. I need to keep touring. And there were a lot of tough conversations that her and I had to have in those moments, because I was out on tour, and you know, when you go from 0 to 1 and you don't really know what to expect, it's hard, and exceptionally hard on her. So yeah, those were some tough times, and for me, having to take so much time off, there can be a little resentment in that, because you know, you get these peaks and valleys as an artist, and when you're at a peak, you got to get out there and you got to do it, because it's not always going to be there, you know. I feel like most artists have short-lived careers. You want to be like Kenny Chesney and Tim McGraw and all these guys who have 20, 30, 40-year careers. But I think for 99% of artists, that's just not the reality. So you got to get out there and get it while you can. So taking time off can be exceptionally mentally hard, especially on a man, because it's in our nature to want to provide for our family as much as we can. But, you know, as an artist, you don't have job security like you would if you were working for a large corporation or company. You know what I mean? You just got to get it while you can.
Yeah, you got to get out there. This whole show, one of the reasons I'm excited about it is because it's trying to like dive in a little bit, open up the layers. As a man, as a husband, if you can flash back to those initial years of marriage, having these conversations, how did you navigate them, good and bad? What did you learn along the way? Because these are conversations that can break relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
And resentment can start to seep in from the beginning and just kind of last if it's never confronted. So what advice or what insights did you learn on how to talk through these things with Lauren, and how to be a dad in the midst of this, you know, peak of your career?
Yeah. I think it just takes a lot of communication, which I've honestly never been good at my entire life. I feel like Lauren still says that all the time, that my communication's terrible. But yeah, it takes a lot of conversations. You have to be understanding. You cannot make it all about yourself. No matter how bad you want to make it about yourself, you know. She works as well. So yeah, it's one of those things. You just, I think it goes back to me. I'm like, all right, family now. You made these decisions, and you have to be, or you can't be selfish, no matter how bad you want to, no matter how bad you want to make it about yourself and your career, and you sacrifice so much to go do this, and this person knew what they were getting into when they married me, kind of thought. You can't have that. You have to say, all right, family first, no matter what. And honestly, as hard as it was to do that and to take a step back, I'm so thankful that I did that, because my kids are the best thing that has ever happened to me. And you don't always think that in the moment when they're screaming and throwing tantrums, and you're not getting any sleep. But it's true. Family's everything.
When did you, I mean, let's first talk a little bit about your kids. Dutton was your first. He's 4 years old now. Baker, 3 years old. You start out with 2 sons, boys, back to back. Let's kind of sit in that season of life. The wildness that probably is boys. I don't know what that's like.
They're wild.
Yeah.
Wild. Lots of energy, which I'm used to. I have an identical twin brother, you know. I'm literally watching myself and my brother on a daily basis. Like, all they do is tackle each other in the ground. They're playing football. It's so much fun, but there is not a mental break with them. Like, they are just wall to wall as quick as you can be, and they want you to get in the floor and play with them and tackle. And I'm like, bro, I'm 41 years old.
Yeah,
we are done this last pregnancy was really hard on her. I guess girls just throw off different hormones, so there was a lot of sickness going on this time around. So just in case we ever go back through that, I think as men, there's a reason women have the babies, because I think to myself, if I went through that one time, even one day, I would say, nope, never again. I
100%.
will never put myself through that. But yeah, we made the decision. 3 is plenty. I was good with 2, but here's Logan.
Yeah.
And 2 boys and a girl. That's exactly how I honestly would have drawn it up. So we are blessed.
The Logan was just born in November.
Yeah, November 11th.
I don't know what it's like to have 3 kids. I don't know what it's like to have 2 boys. So I'm not even going to try to relate with you, but I do know what it's like to have a little girl.
Yeah, I know. I need some advice, man.
I will say, I could even just like think about her right now and start crying. Like,
yeah.
I don't. And
how old is she now?
She's 10 months old.
Yeah, because you had her right after that Hilton tournament, right?
Yeah, I was playing golf. See, that's how good of a husband I am. 2 weeks before my wife's due date, I'm playing golf halfway across the country, waiting for the phone call to say, hey, you need to get back to Denver to have your first kid. Yeah. It also shows our love for the sport. But has there been a different emotion come out of you with being a girl dad?
I don't think, not yet. Nothing I've necessarily noticed yet. I mean, she's so small. She doesn't need me for anything.
No.
In fact, every time I hold her, she seems to scream.
That happens.
So yeah, not yet. But, I think the moments where I start seeing those little smiles and, probably around that 2 to 3 year age, I probably will have a lot more emotion, much like I do with my boys. I'm not a super emotional guy. Like, I just never have been, but kids, or both of my boys so far, have made me a lot softer than I ever was, for sure.
There's a moment, I don't know if you'll have this, but I tried to get as much advice from girl dads as I could before my daughter was born.
Yeah.
And there's a moment, I'd say it happened about 5 months, where she'll look at you and reach for you, and it breaks you because this is your precious little girl.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's different talking to my buddies that have boys and girls.
Sure.
Your boys are out there playing football. Your girl can do that too, but you protect her in a different way. You care for her in a different way, and you know what it's like to be a guy. And so you can't help but be very like protective and set up those boundaries in front of her for her way in advance.
Yep.
My buddies make jokes with me. They say, hey, I can't wait till my son can date your daughter. And I don't, it fires me up. It does. Like, I get angry. There's no way that little, rugrat is touching my daughter.
Yeah. I'm going to be the same exact way.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, I do want to, I want to get into a lot of this stuff that you're coming out with professionally, because it's awesome and you're getting ready to go on tour. But I do want to talk a little bit about, to kind of flash back to your relationship with Lauren and talk a little bit about one of the things we do have in common, which is The Bachelor.
Yeah.
You met Lauren. You knew about her from reality television. I'm assuming you experienced this. My wife has experienced this today, is, hey, I remember her with Ben, or Jessica hears, hey, I remember him with Lauren, or you Google, the name and those pictures pop up. What was that like for you? Was that ever difficult, or what did you experience during that time, especially early on in your dating relationship?
I think one of the things I learned is that, especially through all of this, is the Bachelor Nation is like a real thing. I mean, I swear we can go anywhere in the country, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or just being out somewhere, shopping, grocery store. Someone always comes up and to her and is like, oh my God, I watched you on The Bachelor. Like, I'm a huge fan, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, God, you ever heard of I Don't Know About You? I'm chopped liver when I'm with her. So I learned the Bachelor Nation's crazy. It's like a real thing. I mean, how long ago was that? Like 11 12 years ago?
It's been 11 years, and it still just happened to my wife. She was at Target just about 2 weeks ago. She's walking down the aisle, and somebody comes up to her and they go, is it ever weird being Ben Higgins' wife? I'm not there with her. She's like, well, no, why? Yeah, I guess sometimes. I don't know. And she goes, oh, I remember him from the show when he was with Lauren. And you put that into like real life perspective.
Yeah.
You're like, you're telling my wife about somebody I dated 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And in your mind, as a viewer, as a fan, and it makes sense as a viewer and a fan, that's still the season I'm living in. Even though I moved on married with a kid, you're moved on married with 3 kids.
Yeah.
And I think it does. I don't know as much anymore, but at least initially, that was something that my wife had to work through, because you're always thinking back to, well, this is what people remember him from.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I feel like I want to ask you, like,
You can ask me anything.
what was that experience like? Like, that had to be nuts.
It's nuts. It's nuts for a few reasons. One, I was writing user manuals for a living in the basement of a software company when I became the Bachelor, making minimum wage.
No way.
Yeah. So I was down there, and then all of a sudden in Los Angeles with lights and all these people showing up. And all of a sudden you're on the cover of a magazine, and it spits you out into this world that they say, hey, go have fun, go figure this thing out now, as fleeting fame, as like, overnight celebrity for a few months of your life, few years of your life. And it's really hard to navigate, especially I was 26 years old.
You were super famous. Like, your face is in front of millions and millions and millions of people every single week.
And then you add in the factor of, okay, let's figure out how to make this thing work. And then when it doesn't, here's where it gets hard. And I'm assuming if you asked Lauren, she'd say the same thing. The relationship ends, right? Everybody moves on their separate ways. It's going to be for the better for everybody. But then you have the public coming in to say, hey,
tough.
I hate Ben, or hey, I hate her.
Yeah.
And they make assumptions about why things ended.
Sure.
And you're 27 years old with all this like criticism and hate coming at you, when you're like, this isn't at all the real story. You
never experienced that before.
Yeah, you never experienced it. And so it gets really difficult to navigate.
Sure.
And then to transition into your career, you had to do something amazing and come out with a song called Big, Big Plans, which my buddies have played a bajillion times on the golf course for me, especially early on. It was a number 1 hit on country radio. You wrote that song when? Tell us a little bit about Big, Big Plans.
Yeah, so I wrote it around the time that I was at least thinking about proposing. But the song started like any other song in a writing room, where you go in, you're just writing a song. In particular, this one was just a love song. And we didn't finish the song first day, came back in for a second time, still didn't finish it. And then I thought we got back together for a third time one day to write, and just to finish this song, start a new one. And I had the idea of, why don't we write a proposal in the third verse of this song, and I'll consider using it to propose to her. I felt like that was a different way to propose. As a country artist, I'm like trying to get creative. I don't want to just, I don't even know what to do at this point, but I felt like I'm at least good at songwriting. And maybe that will be like a nice thing that I could do and a fun way to propose. And I just roll with it. I talked to Dave and Chris, Lauren's parents, and told them my idea and that I was trying to finish up this song, and they were like, yeah, go for it. So the way I planned this out, I was on tour with Brad Paisley at the time, and we were playing a show up in Washington, so like an hour outside of Portland. It was Father's Day weekend, and I said, I'm going to do it on this date. And the way I'm going to get cameras there is, I'm trying to remember, we were thinking about doing like some YouTube video clips, and I felt like we're already going to be with her family. I said, I'm going to go ahead and have my videographer stick around for the day, and I'll fly him home that night. Let's go ahead and just get some clips of your fam in case we ever wanted to use them for something. That's how I got the camera there without her being like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, why are we filming this?
Yeah.
Like, obviously I know something's about to happen. So fast forward, it was a beautiful day there in Portland, Father's Day. We were just having a little cookout in the backyard, and I said, "Oh, I just got this song back." Like, one of our things was I would go write songs during the day. I'd come home and I'd play her the song that I wrote for that day, and she'd tell me whether she liked it or not. So I set it up just like that. Said, "Oh, I just got the song back, but I wrote this one specifically for you. Can I play it for you?" And she's like, "Sure." So I had a speaker set up out there. I just start playing it, and long story short, that third verse comes around. Make sure she hadn't mentally checked out. I was like, this is my favorite part. Yeah, I need to make sure she's paying attention.
This is you got to listen.
Yeah. And yeah, she realized what was happening then. And we were able to capture all of that. But I had no real intention of ever releasing that song. I thought it was just I never thought anyone would relate to a song that I used to propose. It just wasn't a thought that I had. But the response was so great in that moment, I kind of was forced to release that song, and then it did. It became a huge hit for me, which was very surprising. I had no idea.
Not expect that.
I didn't expect that. I had no idea that was going to happen. But what a blessing it was. I need another one of those.
Well, I still hear on radio in Denver quite often.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
And it is funny because it was a chirping method for all my buddies on the golf course for years, which is fantastic. I mean, you get in front of thousands of people to perform. Have you ever been as nervous as you were in that moment?
No, I blacked out.
Yeah.
And it should be easy. Like, I know this person, like, I'm comfortable with them, but for whatever reason, I don't know if you just put extra pressure on yourself. You want to make sure that it all goes well. In that moment, I remember I had this whole speech planned out, and I didn't remember one word. I blacked out, and I think I just said, "Will you marry?" I mean, one of those things,
I'm with you. Same thing happened to me. I cannot tell you one thing I said. I think I did it right. I actually don't even know if I asked my wife to marry me. I forget if I even did that. I just remember being on one knee, being like, I think this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It was a huge hit, and you have had hits over the years. Recently, and one of the reasons I was so excited to talk to you today, as we mentioned at the beginning, your faith is so prevalent in your life, and it is the driving force behind your family.
Yeah.
You did just recently release your own version of "Oh, Come to the Altar." I would say for me as a fan, it came out of nowhere, right? Like, I'm listening to your country music. I know you for that. So what made you release your own version of this, and why now?
It's one of those things that for my fans that have followed me from the very beginning, I feel like I've shared a lot about my faith, and they know that part about me. Even with a song on my second album called Hero. It wasn't a Christian song, but it does talk about God in the end, a very storyteller, like songwriter kind of song. So that was my first real glimpse into actually introducing that into my music, just because I felt like people knew that about me. And then I did a collaboration with Chris Tomlin, who is one of my all-time favorite Christian artists. Like, I loved all his songs growing up. In fact, when I first started playing guitar, I would play his songs in church. So I did that collaboration. It was probably 2017 or 18. And back in 2016, I used to cover "Oh, Come to the Altar" in my shows. Okay. Like, I've just always loved that song. It's just always spoke to me. And yeah, it's one of those things that I always wanted to do a cover of it, but I'm early in my career. I'm just trying to get as much music out as I possibly can, and I don't feel like I was ready to have that moment. Like, I need to get out my music that I'm writing. Mm-hmm. And then the day Dutton was born, this song was randomly playing in the background. And it became an even more special song to me because of that. And it just kept finding its way into my life through random instances where it just really stood out. And then the last time it really stood out to me, and I think it was kind of like this weird nudge, whether it was or not, I took it as that. The guy that produces my music, Seth Mosley, was the original recorder of that song. So he's got plaques up on his wall of "Oh Come to the Altar," and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I can't escape this song. Like, it's always finding me. So I asked my team, I said, hey, I wanted to record my version and put it on my last record, Shade Tree, and I felt like that would help round it out and a way for me to share my faith even more. Since I kind of did that on my other 2 records, I wanted to keep that theme going. But it ended up not making the record, and Lauren kept encouraging me. She's like, I really think that you should put this song out. Like, I think your version's great. So, yeah, recently we sat down, finished it up, and just decided to put it out there. You know, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Just an easy way to share my faith and let people in on who I am just a little bit more, you know?
Well, you did, as you just mentioned, Shade Tree is an album that recently came out. It's the first album, I believe, since what, 2017?
18, yeah.
18. And you kind of mentioned this, and I want to drill in a little bit to it. You said, you know, you had Hero, and then you have your version of "Oh Come to the Altar." Why is it important for you to give your fans and listeners a glimpse into this piece of your life, your faith?
I feel like as fans, I'm a huge Kenny Chesney fan. Like, I love learning everything there is to know about him. I want to, I think it helps you to become even more of a fan. The more they share with you, the more you let them in to your life. So I feel like it just kind of starts there. And yeah, just being authentic to who you are, I feel like is most important, because I feel like country fans can kind of see right through that most of the time.
You've mentioned that in your upbringing, church was a consistent part of your life.
Oh, yeah.
That your family were the Wednesday and Sunday, every Wednesday, churchgoers.
Whether I liked it or not, we were there.
Exactly. That was what I was going to say. As a kid, that feels almost like dogmatic, and it feels forced.
Yeah, I can't say I always loved it. There's no doubt. I would rather be playing sports. You know, you don't, when you're that young, you don't really understand what's going on. Like, you can hear about Jesus and all of this, but do you fully like grasp it? And for me specifically, I did, but I didn't. And it wasn't until I got into college and out by myself and into my own world that I feel like I had a real relationship with God, and it was life-changing.
In what way? What do you mean by that?
I think in just how I handle everyday life, like attitude, mindset, happiness, how you treat people, all of those things. I think just how you look at life in a way, and just experiencing the mercy and grace and knowing what he did on the cross. And I'm seeing more glimpses now that I have kids of my own. I feel like I understand his love even more so than I ever have in my entire life.
We talked about your upbringing and the Wednesday and Sunday, and you've actually been quoted saying you're now grateful for it, which it makes sense on why you are, but you do have kids of your own now. What do you want them to experience in their upbringing when it comes to the love of Jesus?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's most important that they know who he is and what he's done for them, and that they experience his love, much like they get to experience their father's love for them, you know? So I feel like, yeah, we're they go to a school where they get to learn about him on a daily basis. So to hear the stuff that, like the songs that they sing at home, it's the sweetest thing in the entire world. Obviously, I don't feel like they grasp it and even really understand, but I love the fact that we're getting to start that with them now. I feel like that my parents having us in church every week and, just always hearing about it led me to my own relationship. So I feel like I'll be that way with my kids and they have to want it. They have to experience it for themselves, which is kind of what happened to me when I got to college.
In closing, Chris, I want to say something that I need you to listen to the whole time. I'm very thankful Lauren was on The Bachelor for multiple reasons, but mostly because she got to meet you. And I mean it when I say, for as weird as that season was, for as messed up as it is, and trying to navigate something that you have no familiarity with, one of the coolest parts about being on the show back in my 20s was now being at 36 years old, able to look at all these people that showed up to that mansion that night from all different walks of life, and to see where their lives are today with their kids, with their families, and then look at my family and go, goodness, like I don't think Jessica meets me without that show.
Yeah.
Which means my daughter doesn't exist without that show.
Yeah.
And so I'm thankful that she was there, because now I get to see something beautiful, and I get to meet you and get to talk to you. Thanks for sharing today. Thanks for coming on here again. Some big things are happening. You're going on tour with Rascal Flatts.
Yeah, so excited about that. I toured with them this past year on their reunion tour. It was incredible. I had so much fun just as a fan standing over there on the side of the stage, singing along to every song every night. It was so much fun. So they decided to go out again this year, and I got that call to go do it again. So I'm very excited for that. It's a nice way to kick the year off. The timing of it is tough, having a newborn, but
sure.
We'll get through it.
And people can listen to songs, some of your greatest hits, some of the songs people know and love that you've come out with, but also the new album, Shade Tree. I'm sure you'll be playing a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. Definitely play the hits. It's a 40-minute set, so I blink and it's over with.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I try. It's action packed. I fit as many of them as I possibly can in there during that time.
Man, you are blessed, and I'm blessed to have you here. Thanks for joining, Chris. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Hey, friends, thanks for listening or watching. Would you take a second, follow, subscribe, and drop a comment? It really helps.